day to you all. Thank you for joining us and welcome to yet another episode of Family Affairs Monday. My name is Justice Marwisa and I'll be taking this episode. We are focusing today on parenting and talking about before our children self-destruct. So our desire is for people to be equipped with knowledge and tools that will make them enjoy their family life. And so parenting is a huge challenge which we are facing, especially with our children born in the 21st century. So when I'm talking to parents, one of the things that I've discovered is there are many parents who are coming up and they are presenting to us a lot of challenges which children are having, which I can call self-destructing behaviors children have. And so children are facing a lot of primary challenges at the moment. Number one, prevalence of alcohol and substance abuse. There is also issue to do with early sexual contact and teen pregnancies, sexually transmitted infections, STIs, and general misbehavior. So a lot is happening when it comes to the challenges our children are facing, and we're calling these primary challenges. And here, this drug and substance abuse is a huge challenge that our communities are facing, especially here in Zimbabwe. But there are many secondary challenges which also pop up because of the primary challenges which we've talked about. Some of these secondary challenges include the pain which the children are causing us as parents. There is a lot of pain because we see our children and we can actually tell that they are going nowhere. Some of them are quite irresponsible, they are stealing, they lie to us, and so there is a lot of parental pain. Not only do we see parental pain, there's also a lot of sibling pain. Siblings are also suffering the trauma that is caused by the misbehavior of the challenges they see their brothers or sisters having. So another secondary challenge is issues to do with the bleak future for the children. You can look at your child and you can tell with the kind of behavior they are actually exuding, they are going nowhere, and it's painful and traumatic for us as parents. And finally, another secondary challenge is that generations are being affected. A child who is on drugs, definitely what will happen is that they will not be able to raise their own children for them to become children who will also be able to be responsible. So there are secondary challenges. Today, what we are focusing on, friends, is to say that before our children actually self-destruct, prevention, friends, is better than cure. And I want to say to you, if you have a child below 12, there is something that you can do at the moment to ensure that your child, is raised in a manner that will make them not self-destruct. So there are two things which I'll just focus on today. One is this thing that I'm calling, let's learn to parent children in the 21st century environment. Let's learn to parent our children. The reality is, what I've observed in working with quite a number of people is not many of us as parents have gone through courses or training in terms of parenting. In fact, when we are looking at preparing for a child, for many of us, it's just issues to do with finding the nappies, painting the room for our children, the clothes that are needed, and things like that. Very few of us will ever think of going for lessons in order for us to be able to parent our children well. But I want you to know that parental knowledge is something that is very important. And parental knowledge is all about the capacity as a parent to know what to do in in terms of raising your child, starting from the provision of the basic love and care for your child, but extending to issues to do with what you teach your child as your child grows up. So parental knowledge is very important, and I want to appeal to us to learn skills and tools that will help you to be able to parent. Because parenting, if we look at the definition of parenting, I like what Ted Tripp says in his book Shepherding a Child's Heart. He says that parenting is the process of promoting and supporting the physical, the social, the emotional, the behavioral, the intellectual, and the spiritual development of your child from infancy to adulthood. So it's a process which must be of essence. Here, this be learned in terms of how to do that, so that you promote your child and to support your child, so that they grow in a manner that will actually promote their own development in life. So parenting is very important, friends. And I want to say to you that for you to be able to parent well, preparation is something that is very important. Because, as I normally say to people, zeal without skills and tools to handle issues that arise when you are parenting a child is not enough to give you the result that you want in your children. You also need the skills and the tools that are necessary for you to be able to parent well. So take parenting seriously before your children self-destruct. Take parenting seriously, because parenting is one of the most important responsibilities in life for us as adults. Proverbs 17 verse 21, the Bible says the following: to have a fool for a son brings grief, and there is no joy for the father of a fool. I want you to know that when your child now begins to be involved in self-destructive behavior, you will, as a parent, feel the pain. Therefore, I will encourage you to take parenting seriously. In general, you will notice that parental mistakes are generally observable many years down the lane, and by that time, it might be late for us to correct. The second thing I will just share with us is that there is need for us to invest time in our children if we are to parent our children well. Invest time in your children, friends. The issue is this: as we focus on corporate success, this is what Patrick Morley says: time with our children, who needs us the most and whom we love the most, here this goes into remission, and this results in broken relationships. We end up regretting that we never got to know our children, and by the time we want to know them, the kids have already grown up and are living home, or they have already self-destructed themselves, which is really sad. So eventually we'll discover that if we don't spend time with our children, this is something that will hit us hard, that no amount of success at the office can actually compensate for failure at home. So I want to encourage you, parents, spend time with your children. It is something that is very important, because the time here is what it does. It builds relationships with the children, and you can be available for your children, to spend time with them, to discover what they like, to discover the things that they're actually struggling with when they are young. You can discover those things just by spending time with them. You'll find out their needs, their wants, and the challenges that they have. So view time with your children as an investment. And that's why it is very important for us to balance quantity time versus quality time, to balance mother time and father time, so that we are availing ourselves to our children. As much as we're investing time to our business, as much as we're investing time to the work of God, invest time also in terms of raising your children. It is something that you will never forget. Finally, you will notice that there is no training of children which does not involve time. If you want to train children well, you must, of essence, hear this, friends, invest the time with your children. I want you to know that there is an African proverb which I normally quote, very powerful to me. It says this: if the wise elders of the village don't teach the children, the village idiots will certainly do so. So if you don't spend time to teach your children, the reality is someone else will teach your children things that probably will help them to destroy themselves. They will self-destruct. So this is just what I wanted to share with you, friends. Judging on the number of parents who are coming, who are having a lot of pain caused by the fact that their children are self-destructing, we can, in my view, begin a process of learning to invest time with our children, to parent our children, so that we can prevent our children from self-destructing. God bless you. Have a good week. We'll see you again next week on another episode of Family Affairs Monday. This is Justice Marwisa. Bye-bye.